Oh, the green and red of Mayo, I can see it still. It's soft and craggy boglands, it's tall majestic hills, where the ocean kisses Ireland, the waves caress its shore. Oh, the feeling it came over me, to stay forevermore, forevermore. From its rolling coastal waters I can see Croagh Patrick's Peak, where one Sunday every summer the pilgrims climbed the reek, where St. Patrick in its solitude looked down across Clew Bay, and with the ringing of his bell called the faithful there to pray, there to pray.
Let's cocoon the old, our young man says. The minister glows with health and pride. Now stay at home and close the door. You will be fed while safe inside. Small city homes that open to the street, devoid of private space or open ground. Nowhere to amble round and contemplate, no place to trap the sun and catch the breeze. Briefly, the multiples give freedom to the old, allowed time off for leaving home. Their early morning window on the world was quickly shut by the new lockdown. I, at least, have garden walls to fence me in and pace myself, to hit the buffers round the corners and move in circles endlessly. Now Easter is upon us with all its frills and frolics. Wondrous birdsong is trilling from the tree. Nature is alive and kicking at the traces. Might I jump the garden fence, run wild, run free.
The statistics, the numbers of dead grow and multiply. We lose something, and it's something that you see when you hear the numbers all the time. This is the lack of humanity that can surround a crisis like this, because behind every statistic is a name. And each name is a door to a life probably decades long, a life that's full and rich and well lived and well loved, and a life unfinished, foreshortened by coronavirus in all its lethalness, a life that was denied the dignity and intimacy of the chance to die in the arms of a loved one. And one such name is Rose Mitchell. Rose Mitchell, known to her loved ones as Billy. Rose Mitchell died in a London nursing home from coronavirus on April the 4th. And her sister Dorothy Duffy, originally from Mayo, wanted to honour her tonight. And if you've been listening to the incredible stories on Liveline all week, you may have heard Dorothy reading a poem that she wrote for Billy. And she very kindly sent this poem to us. And I'd like us all, if you have the inclination to do it, just take a moment to honour Rose Billy Mitchell together, and to remember each and every one of our people who have died by this dreadful virus.
Tribute to my sister. My sister is not a statistic. Tomorrow, when the deathometer of COVID is announced in sonorous tones, while all the time the bodies still mount and curl towards the middle of the curve, heaped one atop and alongside the other, my sister will be among those numbers, among the throwaway lines, among the platitudes and lowered eyes, an older person with underlying health conditions. A pitiful way to lay rest the bare bones of a life. My sister is not a statistic. Her underlying conditions were love, kindness, belief in the essential goodness of mankind, uproarious laughter, forgiveness, compassion, a storyteller, a survivor, a comforter, a force of nature, and so much more. My sister is not a statistic. She died without the soft touch of a loved one's hand, without the feathered kiss upon her forehead, without the muted murmur of familiar family voices gathered round her bed, without the gentle roar of laughter that comes with memories recalled, evoked from a time that already seems distant, when we were connected by the simplicity of touch, of voice, of presence. My sister is not a statistic. She was a woman who spanned the 7 ages, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother, a sister, a friend, an aunt, a carer, a giver. My sister is not a statistic. And so she joins the mounting thousands. They are not statistics on the death-ometer of COVID. They are the wives, mothers, children, fathers, sisters, brothers, the heirs of all our loved ones. If she could, believe me when I say, she would hold every last one of your loved ones, croon to and comfort them and say, you were loved. Whilst we who have been left behind mourn deep, keening the loss, the injustice, the rage. One day, we will smile and laugh again. We will remember with joy that once we shared a life. We shared love. We knew joy and survived sadness. You are my sister, and I love you.
Rose is tonight everyone's grandmother who died this week and in the last few weeks. She's everybody's grandfather and auntie and uncle and brother and sister. None of them were statistics. May she rest in peace. Rose Billy Mitchell, you were loved, you were missed by your sister Dorothy, but also by your children Sean and Karen and Francis and Charlene. Yeshde Garev Anam.
Let us listen then to the silence, hear what she has to say. Sit comfortably with her, knowing she will teach us a new way. Lockdown came upon our land. It fell like a prison gate. We had to face one another from early morning till late. We wondered and wandered around balcony, garden and road. When the novelty was over, we discovered we bore an awkward load. Unlike previous pandemics, those who had given us their all, they became our victims, and like leaves in autumn, we saw them fall. In nursing home and hospital, the virus, it crept along. The first who left us were anonymous. Knowing many now, we cry at so much wrong. Nurses, carers and doctors, others who drove back and forth. Overnight they became our valued heroes, holding hands and ministering worth. We stood outside helpless, observing strange garment and mask. With hearts broken, we waved from a distance. A simple, "Can I hug you?" an impossible ask. We stood back from graves, gathering when our loved one was lowered down. The priest was more distant than usual, struggling for verb, adverb or noun. There is a God that is speaking from some tormented space. He weeps with us and for us as we ponder what it is to be his race. Let us begin again in wonder and gaze into the earth's soul, while our lengthy opinion pieces frolic about like a newborn foal. Let us look beneath the shadows of COVID days that we endure. Let us find a way together, a future that is as safe as it is sure. And to our God who hears our confusion, can you join us for a while? Pour out your graces upon us, that we can all travel the extra mile. May what is faint within us become both strong and bold, so we and those who love us can once again hug and hold. You're a God who walks with us across this long and barren plain. Let us hope that we'll rejoice together in the place beyond all pain. Let us listen then to the silence. Hear what she has to say. Sit comfortably with her, knowing she will teach us a new way. Let us listen then to the silence. Hear what she has to say. Sit comfortably with her, knowing she will teach us a new way.
Lockdown in Leitrim. We're all at home in Leitrim, the Rileys, the McGoverns, the Quinns and us. The rest are off on the Sligo bus. We're having lots of tea and homemade bread. The water is poured slow from the kettle into cup. Even gravity doesn't know which way is up. We're locked down in Leitrim. No comment, nothing to declare. Fields and trees and 2 metre spacings with for sale signs, all at knockdown prices. The crisis not exactly hit home yet. Those isolated have indicated they'll have nothing more to do with China. We've missed out on Easter and the Premiership, and it looks like Leitrim are going to be denied another All-Ireland title. They're talking of turning our GAA Centre of Excellence into a testing centre, but they won't find any excellence anywhere. They couldn't even find Shergar. We're good at hiding things down here. You could walk the whole of our land without seeing a racehorse. You could say Mass and no one would ever know. But when we need to pray to God, by God, we'll be heard, but not today. Today we couldn't even look at a neg, let alone talk to Jesus. What did we do wrong? They said to exercise. There's ones walking that have never walked before. It's a miracle. And now all the pubs are closed. Some of them since 1984. It could be Lent for all we know. And the boutiques are gone. So long to fashion and our own distinctive look. We can't even keep up on Netflix because the internet is full of ones live streaming on Facebook. It's like Cayley House on there. Fiddles, flutes and banjos. Who wants to hear a Bowron player doing a 4-minute solo? Not me. Not without protection. Get behind me, Satan, will you? And TikTok, what's that all about? We're only getting used to the soda stream. Last night I had a pleasant dream that I was living in Leitrim in quarantine, but I wasn't, thank God. I woke up alone, isolated and forgotten. I was so happy that I stayed in bed. There's not much else to do around here. It's so peaceful. Even the guards are looking for house parties. And who could blame them? There was supposed to be a house party in Clune, but it was just a house. There was no party. Someone on their own with the radio on. It's been widespread calm since 1940. And wait till the farmers find out. It'll be back to the early noughties and saying nothing. It's like Russian roulette without the music. You can still get food on the Leitrim Observer, but physically and psychologically we're only just hanging in there. We're locked down in Leitrim. Well,
I'll sing it one last time for you, and then we really have to go. You've been the only thing that's right in all I've done, and I can barely look at you, but every single time I do, I know we'll make it anywhere away from here. Light up you cannot hear my voice, I'll be right beside you, dear. Louder, louder, and we'll run for our lives. I can hardly speak, I understand why you can't raise your voice to say. To think I might not see those eyes, it makes it so hard not to cry. And as we say our long goodbyes, I nearly do. Light up, as if you have a choice, even if you cannot hear my voice, I'll be right beside you, dear. Have heart, my dear, we're bound to be afraid, even if it's just for a few days, making up for all this man.
Oh, the green and red of Mayo, I can see it still. It's soft and craggy boglands, it's tall majestic hills, where the ocean kisses Ireland and the waves caress its shore. Oh, the feeling it came over me to stay forevermore, forevermore. From its rolling coastal waters I can see Croagh Patrick's Peak, where one Sunday every summer the pilgrims climbed the reek, where